Hello, FlossTube. It's Bonnie Jeanne, also known as PostMuse, and it has been many, many months now since I have filmed a FlossTube. A lot has happened. The house that I lived in on Cape Cod went on the market, and it sold fairly quickly. So 4 days ago, I moved up to the White Mountains in New Hampshire, and it is a huge move. However, I am still going to be a rural mail carrier. One of the great things about being a mail carrier is that you can pretty much work anywhere in the country. You just need to call the postmaster and say, hey, I'm moving out there. Can I have a job? But I have temporary housing. My children have a ski getaway. It's very small. And there's one room that I can use. They don't come up very often right now because the kids are in an age where they're in sports all the time. So it is temporary. If I like it up here, if it all goes well, I would like to find permanent housing up here it's in the Lakes region of New Hampshire, just a little bit south of the White Mountains. But it was just too hard to try to find housing right now. So all of my belongings were most of them, I'd say 80% of my belongings were given away. My furniture, I only kept stuff that was extremely sentimental, and that's all stored in a 10 by 5 storage unit down in Massachusetts, close to where my daughters live. It was hard, but I did it. And I moved up here, like I said, 4 days ago. I have met my new postmaster and some of my coworkers, and I have explored the town. The town is adorable, and I'm really excited. I'm trying to think of this as an adventure. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So things that I learned this week. My son-in-law came up with my grandson because he had a hockey tournament in Plymouth, New Hampshire. So he came up and he taught me how to use the wood stove. I have never started a fire in any capacity in my entire 66 years of life. But he taught me how to do it, and I did it, and now I can have the wood stove going. It's going to get very cold this week, so I will probably start one tomorrow and try to keep it going all week, so that help keep down the heating costs. It doesn't warm the entire place the way it's situated in the house. It just warms the front part of the house, which is fine. I can cozy up there, and I don't mind if my sleeping quarters are cold. I prefer it that way anyways. So I did learn to make a fire, which was exciting. And I start my new carrier position on Wednesday. So that'll be exciting. I haven't watched much FlossTube, to be honest. I was going nonstop. You can tell I'm exhausted. I was going nonstop for about 2 months, trying to get rid of stuff, purge, I guess is the word, purge, and then pack, and then get it all. I lived on the second floor, so I had to get it all down the stairs and stage so that when I rented a little moving truck, I could move it all. And I did the move. I had help. Loading the truck, and I had help unloading the truck. But most of it was all me. So I didn't watch much FlossTube, and I don't know that I'll ever go back and watch all of those FlossTubes that were filmed in the last three months or so. But I have all my subscriptions, and I am going to try to get back into the habit of watching them, especially on Sunday nights. So back to cross stitch. I have 3 finished objects. One of them was fully finished, but I decided I wasn't crazy about the way I finished it. So I took it apart. But it was on display at the Walfleet Public Library on Cape Cod, in a Fiber Arts exhibit, and if all goes according to plan, I should have a little video of it. And it was, so you can see how it was finished, but I did, like I said, I did take it apart because it wasn't working for me. So it was the Catch of the Day, which was by Ben. Oh gosh, I've forgotten who it was by. I'll look it up and put it in the notes. So it's 2 pieces. So there they are. And the way I had them framed, it looked like the line from the fisherman and the anchor were kind of connected. And you'll see when I put, if I can't get the video in, I will get the picture, a picture of it in. I do have a picture of it too. So, came out cute. I'm not sure how I'm gonna actually finally finish them. I think in just simple frames. I got a little bit elaborate and I wasn't crazy about it. But it, the Fiber Arts, it was the first time I've ever entered anything that I've made into an exhibit, and it was fun. But there were a lot of, there was only one other cross stitch piece, very traditional piece, but there were a lot of Fiber Arts that were just amazing. The second one that I finished, and I'm working on fully finishing it, is Lucy Beam buying cross stitch like Immortal, and as you can see, I started pinning it, but I have to lace it. So that's that. And I found this old, like, vintagey frame. The lighting in this place is horrific. It was built in the 1990s, early 1990s, and as you can see by the paneled wall behind me, the lighting is just horrible. It's very typical of the time. But I think that you can't see it, but the frame has like gold colors like the fabric, and even some purplish hints to the brown to match the buying cross stitch words. So I kind of like it. I think it's going to be cool. However, because of everything that's going on, I am no longer buying cross stitch like Immortal, and I'll talk more about that later. And the last thing that I finished was Little House Needleworks. This is a stitch along, and we're doing, so right now, so I finished this in the autumn. We worked on winter. This is the ABCs, seasonal ABCs. I'll bring it close so you can see it. And I did mine on Aida, 20 count Aida, which is my new favorite count, my new favorite fabric. This is Cobalt, and it's by Fiber on a Whim. So I finished that before the well, it wasn't time allowance, but before we were supposed to finish it, I had finished it, and then I started on spring. We started on spring in November, I think, or maybe it was, I don't remember. It was, I don't remember. But I started on it, and I'll show it to you in a little bit. But I haven't gotten where I need to be, so I'm going to work on that tonight, because this will be the first time. Tonight will be the first time that I've done any cross stitching at all in probably 2 months. So I'm excited. I can't wait to get my stuff all out. So those are my finished objects. Now, my works in progress. Because I had to put so much stuff away, I only kept a handful of whips. Everything else is in the storage unit. Now, once I get a little bit more settled here and I organize things a little better, I am going to go to the storage unit and pull all of my whips, my older whips. Well, they weren't older. I'm going to leave the old whips in there. But the other whips that I have, more current whips that I have, and bring them back up here to New Hampshire. But that probably won't be till March. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 whips. So with if I can focus on cross stitch, then I should be able to finish these up. But we'll see. So the first one I'm going to show you is the cross-eyed cricket. This is the seasonal ones. I worked a lot on winter before I stopped. I had to stop stitching. And that's where I am on that. I'm very, very close to finishing this. I'll show you the picture too. Very, very close. Here, let me get the picture out. Although the picture is not great, they don't come out very well. I would have thought that I'd be more organized today, but I guess I'm not. There it is. So that's the picture. This is on Picture This Plus 16 count Aida, and it's called, the color is Haven. I really love doing winter stitches on blue. I started this, oh gosh, 2019. So it's been a work in progress for a long time. But I'm going to continue working on that, and then I'm going to go into spring and start on spring. I have the fabric for spring all picked out and all the floss. And then one of my new starts back in November, before I stopped stitching, was the Cottage Garden series came out with their new season, their monthly things, and they're called Fabulous. It's called Fabulous House. And this year they decided to, they put up a mock-up of all of the houses, but they gave them titles so you kind of know what you're going to get. I didn't like the snowman because I didn't know, you didn't know from month to month what you were going to get, and there was a clown one that I hate. There were a bunch that I really did not like. But all of the names on the Fabulous Houses seemed fun and things that I would actually hang up. So I'm going to do those. And the Fabulous House one is Santa's house. So there he is. And I am doing this on, it's just a very, very small start. I am doing this on Atomic Ranch Storm, and this is 28 count linen. And like I said, it's just a small, so I just wanted to get an idea of how the white was going to look on this. The fabric is blowing out a little bit there. It's a little bit better when I hold it back. It does have a very stormy look to it, which I think is good for a winter one. This was suggested by Pam at my LNS, which is no longer my real LNS, but I'm going to still call it that. Stitch New England in Rhode Island, in the Massachusetts border of Rhode Island. So I have seen the pattern for the second one in the series. It's Castle, and it has, that's on its way to me. It has a unicorn down the bottom, which I won't be stitching. I'll fill it in with something else. Then my next new start in November was on my birthday. I decided I wanted to do a birthday start because I had picked this pattern up, this chart up a while back. It's Golden Delicious by the Artsy Housewife. And the camera's not doing it justice. The colors are just, they're so yummy. They are so yummy. So I got a start on the border of this one. I am doing it on, this is a fabric, a new to me fabric company that has a story, but it's called WrinkledFabrics.com. And I bought the fabric, it's 32 count linen, which I don't usually stitch on. I bought the fabrics because of the name, you know me, Blushing Llama. So that's where I am. Yeah, that's right. It goes like that. So that's where I am on that. Put them a little bit further along than I thought I was. There you are. And the fabric has a pinkish hue to it, so it does look like it's a blushing llama, just like it says. This is a long stitch. It's a fairly large stitch, and it's on smaller count than I'm used to doing. But I like it. It's different from what I usually do. So I'm enjoying it. And then I don't remember if I worked very much on the Hand Blessings Kitty in the window. So this is the winter one. And I'm doing all of them on the same fabric count, the same fabric. Oops. Something went wrong. I haven't been working on the winter one. I've been working on the spring one. So the fabric is Picture This plus Mercedes. And here's the spring. And this is where I am on it. I have to do the border and some more of the flowers in the tree. So it's coming along. With these, I will not be using the little doodads. They all have some kind of a little doodad on them. Like this one has a little snowman. I won't be using those. I want to frame them under glass, and having a doodad is just be silly to put something dimensional under glass. Because I want it to kind of, I have an idea of how I want it to look in a, like a clear glass frame, so that it kind of looks like it's a window. So that's where I am on that one. I'm really hoping that having very few pieces to choose from will be good. It'll make me really focus on them. I had started this one before everything went crazy. This was Bent Creek, the Lighthouse. I love anything to do with the ocean. I suppose maybe I will move on to mountains, but I kind of doubt it. And this is where I am on the Lighthouse. This is on a really interesting fabric. This fabric is called, by Fabric Flair, so it's only printed on one side, and it's called Sun, Sea, Sand. It's 28 count linen. I really like it. Can you see how you have the sky, and then the sea, and then the land, the sand? So I'm really liking this. This will be a nice thing to stitch when it's so cold up here. So they don't have they have very, very, very little snow up here in the White Mountains. I'm sure the skiers, my kids, are having fits because it just has been awful. We do have some cold weather coming up this week, so maybe the resorts can do some snowmaking, so that by February, we have February in the Northeast. I don't know if it's like this elsewhere in the country, but in the Northeast we get a February school vacation. So I remember when my kids were little, that was always the week that we came up and skied for the entire week. It was always crazy because you had to bring so much stuff. There is a washer dryer here, so at least, you know, when we came up, there was always been a washer dryer wherever we were. At least when we came up for a long period of time, we could wash the clothes. We didn't have to bring so much with us. All right, the next is by Shakespeare's Peddler. I'm going to enjoy working on this also in the cold weather. This is Magic Garden Sampler. It's an oldie. And I have been plugging away at the alphabet. This is much bigger than I thought it was going to be. You know, you look at these little tiny pictures, and I did look at this the stitch count. However, I still saw that little tiny, and I thought, oh, it's a cute little pudding. No, it's going to be pretty big. But this is very, very nice to stitch on. This is Atomic Ranch Morning Lilac. It does have a little bit of a lilac hue. I'm going to work a little bit on trying to get the lighting better or find a better place to do my videos, because this is really, it's just so glary. And then I have the Shepherd's Bush Scattered series. I've been doing these for my granddaughter because she all of a sudden decided she loves doing seasonal decorating. So she has scattered pumpkins and scattered snowflakes, and then this is where I am on the one that I'm calling spring because of Valentine's Day. Scattered kindness. That's a terrible picture. And I'm almost done with this. I gotta find a cute way to. All the other ones were done with a cute finish. I'll see if I can find the pictures and put the pictures in so you can see the other two, scattered pumpkins. So I like this. So I have a lot of back stitching to do, but this is nice. I want to have this finished by February so when she comes up for skiing, she can take it home with her. And then the last one in the series that I'll be stitching is Scatter Sunshine. That's the summer one. I actually did make a start on that. How about that? This is on, so the Scattered Sunshine is on, Scattered Kindness rather, is on Picture This Plus Demoiselle. It's Demoiselle. It's French word. 28 count Lugana. This is Atomic Ranch. 28 count Weathered Stone, and this is for the Scattered Sunshine. So I just did a very little start on it. Yeah, it is a very neutral. I was going to go with a really wild choice, but I decided not to because she's a little bit more conservative in her decorating. Even though she loves all the seasonal stuff, I don't think she would have gone for a really wild fabric. I've been getting some really wild fabrics lately. Been on a wild fabric kick. And then, so, the next in the series for the, I can't even speak well. Next in the series for the seasonal ABCs is from Little House Needleworks is Spring. This is a very bad picture, even if I took it out of the plastic. So this is where I am. I am doing this on, I haven't been good about writing down my things. This is Bestitch Me. It is 20 count Aida, and it's called Nightshade. And there's where I am, and this I'm showing this last because it's alphabetically ordered it's last, but because I'm going to keep this out, I'm going to put it back in its little place. Everything has to go in a place because this place is small. Can't leave anything anywhere. So this is what I'm going to work on tonight. I'm going to put on some FlossTube and do that. So, as I said, I don't have any of my other stuff with me. However, Melody, who is a faithful watcher and who I have communicated with on Instagram, sent me an incredible surprise. So, the last FlossTube I was at, I talked about going to a new to me needle workshop on the Cape, and it's very old and it had millions of pieces, and I saw this Prairie Schooler ABCs there, and I got one JKL I think it was, and I said I was going to go on a hunt for all of the others. Well, Melody had them, and she said, look how cute that note is. So she sent me a little note letting me know that she wasn't going to be doing these. So I have all of them in the series. So I had planned that I was going to start January and February and February. I mean, in January, but it's not going to work out that way. So I probably won't start these till February. I do have to get fabric for them, but I want to show them all to you because they're just gorgeous. So this is ABC. I love this. The anchor. Of course I do, because it's seaside. I miss my sea. And then DEF. This one, embroidery. How cute. And friend. I think maybe I'll try to get Melody's name in there somewhere. And then this one here, so I was at a farmer's market, and I asked, I said, what they were selling Indian corn, and it was an indigenous person who was selling, and I said, well, what do you call it? And she said, well, we just use Indian corn, it's fine. So I don't feel like I shouldn't be stitching that, but I did feel a little bit weird about it. And I love that home is the bees. You know, I have a thing for bees. And then JKL. Kitty! These are all fairly small. This is a case in point where they look large in the picture, but they really aren't. I think 6 by 4. Probably, so not huge. And then we have another mermaid up here, MNO. And PQR. Now, I don't quilt, but my mother was a quilter. That was another hard thing. I had to leave all but 2 of my mother's quilts in the storage unit because I just couldn't fit them. I had to drive, the stuff that I took with me had to fit in my little sedan, and I had transport both cats. I'll tell you a story about that in a minute. So I didn't have a lot of room to bring stuff. So, Bunny! And then STU, look, sewing. I love it. And then VWX. Vineyard. So, because I have a storage unit now, I decided that in order to make that work in my budget, I was going to give up my wine because I was spending as much money on wine every month that I would be on this little tiny storage unit. So I decided I will give up the wine, and I actually haven't missed it. I guess because my sister, she moved back out to Western Mass, and, you know, she was my little buddy that we'd have cheese and crackers and fruit and wine or another cocktail. So I decided I'll do without, and it's fine. It's fine. There's a very cute winery up here called Crazy Cat Winery. I just like it because of the name. And when they open up in February, I will go there and maybe have a glass of wine. It's not, I mean, that would be cool to support a local business, and I wouldn't be drinking alone. So then one of the reasons I really love this set is because it's Y and Z, because that's how we always learned our ABCs. So we get the ampersand down here with the entire alphabet and somebody cross-stitching. I love it. So cute. So, thank you, Melody. I'm going to do these on a very basic oatmeal-y type cloth, you know, very neutral cloth. I'm going to do them all in the same. I'll probably buy a big batch of it and just do them all in the same. And I'm excited. I cannot wait to start those. I'll have them, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of, you know, somebody was talking about how they, you know, they take things like this, or like the Cottage Garden series, and they put them like in a sort of like a cross-stitch scrapbook. And I'm thinking I might like to do that. I might like to, you know, mat them on a very thin board and then put them in a little book so that I can flip through them and see them, not necessarily have them hanging up. because I don't think I'll ever have a place that would be big enough to hang up the whole entire alphabet. But anyway, that was my fun thing. So that's about it for me. Oh, I was going to tell you a funny story. So Thursday morning is when I moved up here, last Thursday. And Wednesday, I took the cat carriers, both cat carriers, put them in the car where I knew they were going to be, and then went upstairs and started bringing down all the stuff that I wanted to bring with me and packed around the cat carriers. And it was getting tight, and I was getting nervous. But I ended up having to leave a good chunk of stuff with my sister, who's still living on the Cape, and she's going to make a road trip up here to bring it up to me, because I just couldn't fit another thing. I was actually taking things out of boxes and bags and just putting them in individually in the car in little spots. It was crazy. So I got the car all packed on Wednesday, and then Thursday morning I got up. I got the younger cat, Lucky, in his carrier, brought him down, put him in the car, buckled him in, buckled the carrier in, went back upstairs, got Bailey, the bigger cat, brought him down, put him beside Lucky, to put him beside Lucky. But as I'm coming out the door, I look and I can see Lucky is on the dashboard of the car. It's like, he managed to escape the carrier. So I put Bailey down on the floor in the house. I said, Bailey, I'll be right back. I went out, and Lucky was on one side of the car, and I came in on the other side and came in at the driver's side and came in real quickly, shut the door, and I got him, and I reached, and then I knew that if I took him out of the car, he was going to escape. He's a slippery kitty. He's very, very floofy, but he's very wiry. And I shoved him. He had unzipped the carrier, so I shoved him in the carrier, got him back in that carrier, and he's all flailing, and I'm flailing, and everything's all packed in tight. I got him back in the carrier, and I pulled the zipper closed, and then I used a clippy to lock the zipper closed so that he couldn't get out again. And then I noticed the carrier was sideways. So I went around to the back of the car, and I reached in, I opened the zipper up just a little bit, reached in, maneuvered the padding and everything around so that he would be comfortable enough. Oh my God. And then I went in and got Bailey. They were both fairly quiet for the ride. It was about a 4-hour ride up here, and they were both fairly quiet. I had given them some calming medicine the night before and then that morning. And they were pretty good when they got up here. I did keep them in one room, the room that I sleep in, but now they're allowed. It's not that big of a house, so there's no stairs or anything like that. So they're allowed to wander around now, and they're exploring. Both of them are still a little tentative, and I expect that would be the case for a while. It is much colder up here, and the house is not very well heated, so I can put a sweater on or whatever. Granted, they do have a fur coat, but I do find them cuddling more, which is kind of nice. I like that they're cuddling more to stay warm. So I hope to get back on a regular schedule, and you'll be seeing the same old stitches every week. But I might have some adventures to talk about. I am going to be, learning many, and this is very rural up here. This is much more rural than Wellfleet. And, I'll have stories to tell. Today I discovered a coffee house. It's called Artsy, and I had the best bagel egg sandwich that I have ever had in my entire life there today. They are New York bagels that are flown in directly from New York. Oh my gosh. And the coffee, they roast the coffee here in Bristol, and where I live, and it's from family farms in Guatemala and other Central American countries, so they know that the farmers are getting a fair price. So it was a great cup of coffee. I'll probably put a picture of that in the beginning. So if you saw a picture of coffee and a half-eaten bagel sandwich, you'll know why. That's from the Odyssey. And what else have I done? Driving around a little bit, trying to get used to the roads and where I'm going. It's going to be an adventure. So keep our fingers and toes crossed. But thank you for watching, and thank you for your patience and waiting for me to come back. You didn't give up on me. I know I heard from a lot of you, and I thank you for all your messages and your cards. I do hope to get back to just being normal and not having to worry about stuff, storing stuff. So, good night, everyone. Thank you.